You are now streaming live. Yes, we are. I will tweet the details of that said thing.
Yes.
Oh, not on that keyboard.
And I see us live now.
Yay! There we go. So wheat.
And I see Bim's in here, and so is Tiber.
Ba-ba! All right, there we go. Now that I have the two keyboards in front of me, I'm going to be jumping between the two and being like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Oh, yeah.
What am I doing, you guys? What am
I doing?
doing?
What are you doing? My favorite Pokemon Go channel trainer tips. He was actually just got back from Wisconsin. He was up in wherever they used to make a bunch of submarines. Forget where that is. Like, I don't know. Let me see if I can look at his episode.
I don't know. Go
But
Wisconsin!
He was up there somewhere, and he lives in LA, and so he's like, it's 10 degrees outside. I hate everything. Like, no.
I know. And you poor guys are going to get that snowstorm coming through. That's not going to hit us for a change. So yay. It's for me not having to deal with more snow. Boo for you guys having to deal with more snow. Because it kind of sucks. I'm so tired of snow. I'm so tired of cold.
Okay, it was wherever the Maritime Museum is. That is in
The Maritime Museum.
Manitowoc.
Oh, Manitowoc. Okay. Yep.
Manitowoc. Yep. Yeah, that's where he was.
Okay.
Yeah, that. Oh, okay. That's right on the lake.
I'm surprised you pronounced that so easily. That's awesome. Most people would be like Manitowoc.
I figured it was one of those Native American names.
Yes.
That got translated over.
One of the funniest things that happened when I moved to Wisconsin for the first time, I flew into Milwaukee and drove from Milwaukee to Madison with my ex-in-laws. And they pointed to the sign on the road and they said, okay, pronounce that. And I looked at it and I was like, oh God. And it's like, it was a Native American city that's between Madison and Milwaukee. Starts with an O for us Wisconsinites. See if they know which one it is.
Okay, is it a Conomowoc?
That's the one. Now, yes, Vim got it too. So
I'm looking at Google Maps, so that
helps. So when you look at the sign and you're looking at that, so I said Okonomowoke.
Okonomowoke.
I mean, Marconin is good at this game. I suck at it, you know.
I like pronunciations. I pick up a lot.
Yeah, that was actually, I mean, for me, I was completely clueless. I was also like, 21 and had never been outside of New Jersey or Pennsylvania. So, it was a little bit different. Yeah.
Okonomowoke. Okonomowoke.
Okonomowoke.
When I go to sleep, I am Okonomowoke because I'm asleep because I'm not woke.
I mean, that's pretty impressive to be able to just like look at that and you just look it up on the map and you're like, oh yeah, it's a Conomowoc.
Well, I was like, I listened to the Google Translate of my answer to question too, and I was close.
Yeah.
Because spoilers, it's in Japanese for you guys listening. So my answer number 2 is in Japanese. So, and I was looking at it and I was like, what does this mean? And then I translate. I'm like, oh, that makes more sense.
That makes more sense. Yeah, it's too funny.
And I feel better knowing now because I've liked this song for like 3 years or 2 years, however long it's been out. But now I finally have the translated lyrics in front of me, and I'm like, oh, it's a pretty sweet song.
All you had to do was take a moment to like just look it up and see what you think, and yeah, best burger you ever
Yeah.
had was in Mukwonago. I don't think I've ever been to Mukwonago. I don't think I've ever been there.
No, I haven't. I don't
Yeah.
know that I've ever been to Wisconsin.
Really?
I think that's one of the ones that I've never been to
Mm.
because I flew in, I've been to Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I was that close to Canada?
Yeah.
Wow, that's right there.
I know, it's right there.
Wow. What do you know?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's something. Wow.
Wow.
So
Hi,
yeah, I've been to
David. Hi,
Detroit, but I haven't been
Solomio.
to see. Yeah, nowhere in Wisconsin yet. And I need to look and see how many states I have yet to go to. North Dakota is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have like an open invitation from Mage and Eve
Oh, for
to go up
sure.
there, and I'll say, yeah, I want to go to Fargo like right now and see 10 feet of snow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
Nobody does. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, for like a day, and then it's like, that's too much snow.
Yeah. No, you don't. You really don't. You don't want it. It sucks. It really sucks. You don't want it. It's awful. It sucks.
You think you want it, but you don't want it.
You don't want it. Wow.
Wow. Wow. I need to get that add-on.
Ooh, one of my Overwatch keychains just sold. Woohoo!
Sweet.
That's awesome.
I need to get back on eBay and sell some stuff.
Yes. Sell some
I have
things.
I got a couple of gold Overwatch pins that, like the gold Reinhardt from the third year, $100 on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've got one, and I'm like, well, maybe if I put it up for 80, it might sell. Just, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of it, get a little extra cash.
For sure. I mean, that's good spending money.
Well, and I found out last week that where I work is one of the many companies that are giving everybody bonuses after the tax reform kicked back over.
Yeah.
So I won't get the total amount, but because they taxed that to heck, but it was a grand.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I get that next week.
That's awesome.
It's just like, here you go. Like, thank you. I will save this and keep it because hopefully they'll announce BlizzCon tickets soon.
Yeah, and then you're like, BlizzCon money funded.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's awesome.
Oh, the Tide ad.
Nope, it's a Tide ad.
I make a little quip about that in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
For those that watch the game.
Uh-huh.
Hey, is this a podcast about interpersonal relationships relating to Blizzard gamers? Nope, Tide ad. That could be the name of the episode as Tide ad. or not a Tide ad.
See, that sounds really bad when you say it fast.
Yeah.
'Cause it sounds like it's not you're not saying Tide ad. It sounds like something else.
It sounds like Tie Dad. And that's like a tie.
Yeah.
Like a bow tie.
I was not
But,
I heard something more dirty than that, so.
oh, probably so, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of figured.
Yep.
Kind of figured.
Cause that's where my brain goes. It's a tie, Dad.
It's a tie dad. That could be the name of this episode is Tie Dad.
Tie, Dad. Well, you got to use it in the show so that we can.
Yeah, I know. I got to do that.
What did Jules hear? You don't want to know that. You don't want to know that.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Draven wants
That's
to.
the thing is he does, and I'm not telling.
Yep. And then 5 minutes later, hey, Jules, check your Twitter.
I know.
What?
That's why.
What? Ain't it, Donnie?
Hi, Natani. So we tested the sounders. We know they work for Marconin. But we've got to do the normal thing with the stuff for you guys. So we'll just do this one.
Our warlocks get hungry too. It's golden at the drive-thru.
That works. Hi, Natani.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's cool. We're ready for a show. Since we are talking about the Super Bowl, the topic for tonight kind of has a little bit of stuff in there about it. So you guys are all like, you're all speculating what it is that I actually heard. I'm not telling you.
She's probably gonna tell me in the post show, like after we say goodbye to y'all. Then I'll be like, oh, I see. No, I'm not saying it. Hey, chat room, let's ready check you. How about that? Bom, bom, bom.
Are you ready? Welcome,
I am
Iron Assy.
ready.
Welcome. We are gonna ready check you guys, and then we're gonna jump into the show. Do the thing with the stuff. Have a podcast created right before your very eyes. It will be a miracle.
It will be something never quite seen before in the annals of history, much like Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster with the Earth behind it, which was one of the coolest pictures in the history of mankind.
Yeah, that was really cool.
My goodness.
It was really cool.
Like with "Don't Panic" on the dash. Like,
yeah,
it's you know, there was one episode of Star Trek Discovery where they're like, you know, the great minds, Albert Einstein, Ephraim Cochrane, Elon Musk. And, you know, I'm starting to be like, yeah, this is he knows what's up. He's just pretty much pushing us into the future.
Yep.
I had a big long discussion with a coworker about government-funded space programs versus private ventures, and I'm like, the private ventures are a lot faster because they want to make profits.
Yeah.
It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So, and it's beautiful. Can't wait.
It's pretty darn cool. I mean, there was a lot of people geeking out about the launch on the what was that, Tuesday? No. Yes.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Yep.
Yeah, and then both of the first boosters landing in synchronized, like right at the that's. I mean,
so cool.
10 years ago, you wouldn't have thought that was possible.
I know.
And
you know, it's stuff that you see in the movies, but now we're actually making it happen. So, All right, the chat room has been ready checked. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. My nose was itching. Sorry. Itchy nose. My nose is itchy. All right. Let's do this thing. The thing with the stuff called this podcast, which is episode 259. I don't know what that is in there, but I'm getting rid of it.
Did I have a keyboard stroke in there or something?
I don't know. There was like a random S where my mark was. So. Don't do it. Don't. He's putting random S's in the doc, and it's going to tilt me to no end.
Get that S out of here.
Get that S out of here. Welcome to Suggestive Think Tank. Let's do this thing. Episode 259 records in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 259 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, February 8th of 2018, 8:12 p.m. Central Time is the current marker on my clock. My name is Jules, and with me as always is the man in the orange chair and a sly grin because he's been trolling me with S's inside my document, random S's in the document. I don't know what it is. It's Mark Honan.
Hello, Jules. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Wait, this isn't a show. It's a Tide ad. Oh, my laundry is so clean.
Wait. You aren't Mark Honan. You're a Tide ad.
I'm not Mark Conan. I'm a Thai dad. Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. It's good to see y'all. Good to see you too, Jules.
Good to see you. And now that we know that you've watched the Super Bowl.
Yes.
First, we want to apologize for missing a show last week, but we had a good reason for it. And I'll turn that to Mark Conan because this is his story.
Yeah, last week was a bit of a roller coaster. The main thing was that my granddad had surgery because they thought he had a cancer on his left kidney. And so they're like, well, we're going to try and take part of it off. And, that way not taking out an entire kidney, but just still leaving part of one there. Mm-hmm. Turns out it was a benign mass, so benign tumor. So everything's good on that. But I was at the hospital with my family talking to him as he was recovering on Wednesday night. And then I got a message from one of my friends from college, and he told me that my friend Jim had passed away. Jim was an older gentleman. He's just a little bit older than my dad by 2 years or so. But he was the guy that I did a college radio, and I was approached one day by one of the main people at the station. They asked me if I wanted to be the producer of a show about blues music. And I loved my job, loved radio. So I was like, absolutely. It's a brand new thing. It's just this local guy. Jim Drennan was his name. And he went by the nickname, the Generator Man, because he's a retired electrician, lifelong lover of the blues. Mm-hmm. And the show was called Blues Where You Least Expect It. And it was a show where you don't know that blues music has infiltrated everything until you kind of dig deep and listen for it. Tons and tons of examples. And he ended up, after I left working there, he's had 2 or 3 more producers that he would just work with. And he did 8 seasons and was writing the 9th when he passed away. He had heart troubles, and I think that's what it's what his family said, ultimately made him say goodbye to us. And he was a really good friend of mine. One of those where it's almost an unlikely pairing, because he's, a generation older than I am. But he has said such good stories, and we hung out a lot in and outside of the studio. And this was his first time on the radio, and it was my first time producing a show. So we kind of stumbled and grew together. Mm-hmm. And it really hit me hard because he was such a positive force. And I mean, if I hadn't done that show, I probably wouldn't be behind this microphone talking to Jules right now, because that gave me the confidence and the experience to keep working at multimedia stuff. Right. So, and so long story short, the visitation was Thursday night. So sorry, I was rambling, but it's, I had to go. I couldn't go to the funeral on Friday because it was during the day at work and I couldn't ask off, but talked to Jules just to let her know that I wasn't going to make it happen. And and so I went to the visitation, spent time with his family, and I got to meet his family that I'd never known because I just met his wife when we were working. I never met his kids. And when I introduced myself, they were like, "Oh, you're his favorite producer. You're the one he always wished would come back." Aww. All those years. I worked with him for about 2 or 3 years out of the 8, but like he and we'd talk every once in a while, and he's like, "When are you coming back? I miss having you here." Because he's like, none of these other kids understand, because I love music. That's no secret on the show, and that really taught me to appreciate music and listen and dig deeper and feel more of the soul of music. He took me down to Mississippi to meet B.B. King before he passed. And so he was a nice positive. He was almost in my wedding. He was almost a groomsman. This guy older than my dad is a groomsman, and he affected me a lot in a lot of positive ways. And I really miss him. And it was a sad thing, and it really shook me pretty good, but he left a good, long, positive impact on a lot of people's lives, including mine. Yeah. And I'll never forget him for that. So it was one of those like I have to be there kind of things.
Of
So
course. Absolutely.
it was a rough week.
Mm-hmm.
It was good things and bad things, but that's why we weren't here last week, and so sorry for that. But I know you guys understand, and hard times hit everybody, and last week it was me. So
Yep.
thank you guys for understanding, and yeah, so we're back at it, and we're gonna help people as much as we can,
That's
So
what we do. That's why we're here.
it is.
That's why we're here. So, so what else has been happening for you in the world of gaming? Did you go ahead and buy the expansion last week?
I have not. I haven't bought it yet because I always get
Or
the
pre-order.
physical collector's editions,
Yeah.
and they're not going to give me the cool stuff until I actually get it in my hands. But I'm considering it, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I really like to I know the alpha test has come out, the invite only alpha, and I'm just kind of like, it's okay. I'm not making a big to do about it because I'd rather experience it when it's fresh, if given the choice.
Right.
So, and
Right.
I'm seeing a lot of hubbub online about the alpha and who's in and who's not and all that. I'm like, I'll see it on release day because it's fresh and everybody else is there and it's cool. So,
Yeah.
but in the realm of gaming, I have been doing rocket runs because you haven't heard me screaming and jumping across the four corners of this good green earth. I have not gotten the rocket yet.
Yes, I know.
But-
But you got limited by the number of runs you can do now because of the number of characters you have at level 98.
Yes, and this is a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because I don't have as many opportunities to get the rocket, but it's a blessing because I don't have to spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day running all these tiny alts through. So I have my set. I don't even remember how many I have, maybe 20-ish,
Yeah.
18 to 20. So I run them through every day. Couldn't on last Thursday on the first day because of the visitation. So I missed the first 2 days, but I've been going, and I'm kind of resigned to the fact that I probably will never get it. But if I get it, I'm just going to go scream and jump around. It's going to be awesome. So and every time I click the loot, I'm like, please, please, please. Okay, I was expecting it. I wish they.
I'm putting
Go
you on
ahead.
the spot here, but do you have plans
Uh-oh.
to do mount run streams like you had in the past?
Well, the last few days I haven't really been feeling, because of the stuff lately about my friend and all that. I just kind of haven't been feeling it. So I've just been kind of just doing it under the radar, just hopping on, after work or at night. But I know people like to watch it, so I might be able to do some later on, maybe Saturday or Sunday, on some of the days, because the nature of my job, I'm usually working sometimes pretty late, and being able to stay online and stream with other people in the house talking and everything as they go to bed, it's not very conducive. So it'll all depend. If I do, then I'll definitely message it out. So just if you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead at Mark Conan Wow, and I'll announce it if I do, and you guys can come join and share in my disappointment or the slim chance of success, and you get to see the greatest OMG, I got loot face probably that you will ever see me do, because just the horrendous drop rate of this thing.
Mark Conan, one of the things that I will tell you right now is if you do decide to stream this, make sure that your Twitch is set up to archive your videos.
Yes.
After you're done streaming.
Yeah, because I got I got some rare mount last year. I forgot which one it was, but I got it, and I'm like, oh, cool, you get to see the loot face. I'd go and Twitch had automatically turned off all archiving as a default. So
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
oh, well.
I was like, you don't have the archive of that? Are you
Oh,
kidding?
Yeah. Bim remembers it was when I got the Elegon's mount, the
that's
Celestial
one of my
Dragon.
favorites. I love that one.
Oh.
I don't have it, but
Beautiful.
it is a gorgeous mount. Gorgeous. Yeah. So that's a pro tips, because we really do need to have like a record of that if you do wind up getting it on stream. So
Yeah. I'll probably just like fall out of the chair, and it'll be like 5 minutes of my chair just slowly rotating around. While I'm running through the house, you'll hear me go outside by the window.
The Doppler effect going at
Yeah.
fast. That's awesome.
And the ground shook, and the skies trembled, and the rocket dropped for Marconen.
The happy rocket. Yes.
It was a glorious day.
We hope. We hope for the glorious day to hit this year.
We shall see.
Yes.
But yeah, that's mostly what's been going around with me. Work is work. It's not bad. Doing pretty good. But that's about what's going on with me. So what about you, Jules? How have you been doing the last couple weeks?
Doing good. Staying busy, lots of podcasting. I'm doing an HGC segment now for Battle.net Sports, which is coming out every week on Mondays. Actually, I think it releases on Tuesdays. We record on Mondays. And doing that, working with Nerf the next time they have me with that. So I've been kind of like making sure every weekend I've just been like glued to what's happening on HGC and Overwatch League because I love that.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just been, and between that, I've been making so many commissions lately. Like I'm so appreciative of all the people that keep asking for stuff, and I keep making stuff, and it's amazing. So I have actually caught up on my commission list, if you can believe it. I was
nice.
like, I got caught up this week. I'm like, I have some room in the schedule. So yeah, and I've been making a lot of the fidget toys, the chainmail fidget toys, and I made a new one this week with the center being rubber rings instead of metal, so that it could be a little bit more durable for and it's a little variation, so you can have like, it's just a little different. I actually like the rubber core one better. It was just like this more structured thing. It was so cool. So I'm gonna work on a rainbow one this weekend and make that up as I'm watching all my esports.
Very cool.
Yeah, so doing that, I played a bunch of Overwatch the last couple of days. The new lunar event is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I played the capture the flag map that they created for the lunar event, which is super cool. The skins are great. Moira is amazing. I just love that character so much. I want to play her everywhere. I want her in Heroes of the Storm. I want her everywhere I can play games because she's so cool.
She is.
And just, this is kind of our quieter time of year for stuff related to like, to work and that kind of thing. We would have been going to Florida today, but that trip did get canceled. So yeah, it's just been, just keeping up with everything and starting the slow process, the ramp up process for getting prepared for BlizzCon and announcement, hopefully, and more party planning and plans for 2018, which are much bigger than 2017. And so, yeah, so that's been what's been going on with me. And so I'll also mention this too. Like, I don't talk a lot about some like other things going on in my world, personally, but I do extend that to the Slaying Demons podcast, which I do with Jocelyn and Nevermore. And so for the last, we just recorded one this past week, and we recorded one 2 weeks ago where I shared a lot more of my personal struggles, things that are going on with me, which I won't recap here. But if you're interested in listening to that and kind of want, the stuff that I've worked through with my, my grieving process and weight loss process and exercising and struggles that I've had there, that's the therapy. That's my diary.
Yeah,
that's right there. So yeah, so that's just another place where you can kind of catch up on what's going on with me on that front. So yeah, I think with that we'll just get into the show, because we've been chattering away, and we got a letter. Actually, we've got a bunch of letters. You guys have been sending them in, and we totally appreciate it. So we're gonna keep going and catching up on those, and we're gonna do this one as a discussion topic. So Let's do this one.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
Poor gnome. He's so sad.
Every time.
Mark
Every
Conan
time.
I'm just like waiting. I'm waiting for it there. Wait for it. Okay. Discussion topic. We got a letter from our friend Shorel, listener of the show, and she says, Jules and Marconin, with the Super Bowl pending right here in Minneapolis, I thought it might be a good time to talk about an issue that has been around for decades, but is going to become more and more difficult as esports and geekery in general become more mainstream. My wife and I have been discussing it a lot because we live extremely close to all of the activity around the Super Bowl. We literally can't get away from it. I have to walk through the actual festivity area to get to work every day. It's frustrating, not because I don't like the festivities or the people engaging in them. Everyone has been super nice, but because I can't get away from it. There's a prevalence of people around us who are various types of geeks, and there seems to be a huge screw those Super Bowl fans attitude. I get not wanting to be involved, and I get wanting to avoid an area of town that's congested, full of people who don't know where they're going, and honestly is militarized. I kid you not, there are military personnel on every side street and SWAT-ready sheriffs in the skyways. As of this writing, we are 6 days out from the actual event. But, and this is huge, we can't condemn people who are here to enjoy the festivities and a huge annual event. This is, in some ways, BlizzCon for football fans. Yes, it's socially easier to talk about sports than about esports. No, people don't gripe if you want to watch the game on Sunday or Monday as opposed to wanting to raid on Tuesday and Wednesday. I understand that we have been oppressed, bullied, and targeted, but is it really the fault of the fans of traditional sports? Love the show, Shorel.
I really did like this topic, and I was hoping we originally were going to talk about it last week, but couldn't do it. But it's still very topical anyway because the game was just a few days ago.
It's super relevant, and I felt I live here in Minneapolis. I live in the first, second tier suburbs of Minneapolis. So my normal movements around town were not affected very much. So I didn't have to worry about that. But I felt super bad for anybody who did, because my friends Navarre and Steph, who live in northeast Minneapolis, were just getting crushed by the traffic. Yeah. And it's hard. It's a disruption to their everyday. You didn't get a choice in the matter. It's just happening. And, it's the same thing. Let's say the Olympics decided to have themselves in your city. It's just, that's the same level of attraction that it would be, just that hundreds of thousands of people coming to your state to be a part of this. So yes, this is a similar topic to others that we have discussed in the past, but I do think that there's stuff to really dig into this, because I think it's actually, we can go into the topic of her sports ball, but I think it goes even deeper. And I so you're going to have to ride this ride for me just a little bit, but
I'm on board.
Just hang in there with me, because I think that this is going to take us somewhere that needs to be talked about. We live in a day and age where people are it's extremely easy for you to express your opinion in multiple different avenues. You have a feeling and you can express it in, a quick send of a tweet, a post on Facebook, a text to your buddy. You can just, as my dear friend Jocelyn says, you can just kind of splat. Just splat.
Yeah.
It just, it's like verbal diarrhea. You just coming out. And so, and then I see, Now, I am of the philosophy of this mindset where, you know, there's a wonderful cartoon that circulates all about the time this stuff comes around, where it's like this guy makes fun of this guy's other excitement about football, and he like puts his fingers over the guy's lips and closes them up and says, "Shh, let people enjoy things." And I totally agree with that. But then it's like it's in complete clash with everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. You just don't have to agree with it. Do you know where I'm going here? It's like this, like we've created this culture where people are encouraged to be free with their opinion. But if that opinion is, I hate sports ball, then it's, shh, let people enjoy things.
Yeah, there is a bit of a disconnection there between the two. When it comes to everybody having a worldwide soapbox, yeah, you're free to say whatever you want, but you're also free for people not to listen. The problem is you get people with opinions, and you get other people with opinions that aren't the same, and then people feel entitled to correct other people on their wrong think. You know, it's like that. There's a XKCD comic. We're talking about all these comics. The one where the guy's sitting on a computer, and it's like, and then like there's a voice in the next room is like, "Honey, are you coming to bed soon?" "No, honey, I can't." "Why not?" "Someone is wrong on the internet."
Yes.
And he's like typing furiously on his keyboard.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and you're free to have your opinion. I disagree with it, but I'm kind of one of the people that's not gonna, like, with rare exception, I'm not gonna debate you on it or just ask you and next you to expound on it or something, because it's just, I mean, it would take a change of opinion, a change of perspective for people to not, LOL sports ball, which some people use sports ball in a, I don't know how to play the sport, but I'm not making fun of it way. But then there's, of course, the obvious ones that are.
Well, let's talk about that one for just a second, because I think that those people who say lol sports ball because they don't know anything about it, I don't think that's any better, because that's ignorance. And ignorance to me is sometimes worse than obstinance about something, because that willingly, I don't care about that, almost gets under my skin more than people who have an informed opinion about something and say they don't like it.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
It bugs me.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things that just kind of like irks the hell out of me when people do that, because I'm going to use my own example because I know me. So I can use my own example. So I don't like anime. I'm going to say that right now. Okay, now Marcona's just getting out of his chair and ready to leave. If I say I don't like anime, people will say, "Oh, but have you seen blah, 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 blah?" And I say, "No, because I don't like anime." "Oh, you've got to try this. It's so good, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, well, no, you don't see me going on the internet and saying, "I don't understand what it is about all these people who like anime. I just don't like anime." And I'm not screaming it from the rooftops. But if someone asks me if I don't like anime, or if I like anime and I say no, "Well, have you seen this, and have you seen Spirited Away, and have you seen blah, blah?" No, because I don't care. I don't want to. And so can you see the difference? Like, if I go on to the internet and I make a blanket statement saying, "I don't like sports ball," or "sports ball is stupid," blah, 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 blah. And I have now put my opinion on everybody else. I've just I've taken it like a big old dead fish, and I've slapped you across the face with it, and I've said, "Hello world, I don't like anime. Deal with it. Sunglasses.
Fight me."
Right? So there's a difference. Now, this is what happens a lot of times is people will just go out there and say, blah, I don't like blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, good for you. Or it's those people who are like, fight me. That's awesome. And you suck and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's when I say let people enjoy things.
Yeah. Well, and in your example, like if I, and personally, there's some anime I grew up enjoying anime like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, Oh My Goddess. There's a bunch of different ones I liked when I was in high school.
Right.
Now I don't. Now there's not really any that I really care about. But what I would do if I were talking to Jules, and the way that some people should handle that thing is just instead of oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that? It'd be better to say, oh, well, I'm just curious, what is it about it that you don't like? Because from my point of view, I can see the grounded story. Cowboy Bebop, also shout out for that one, Draven. Good one in the chat. That's a great one with good blues music in it. But it's like, hey, what is it about it that you don't like?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd like to understand.
Right.
Because to me, just saying I don't like anime is like saying I don't like green.
Yeah.
Or I don't, because it's a very, very broad thing. There are so many that's like, I don't like movies. I don't like television.
Right.
It's very broad.
Yeah.
So the way that other people should approach it is, okay, well, what about it don't you like?
Yeah.
Just because I want to understand.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm struggling to make my point, but I hope it's coming across. Is that there's a tried and true difference in me like going out there and making a blanket statement of saying I don't like anime versus me keeping my mouth shut until I was in a situation where the conversation went there and I was directly asked about it, and then I say, well, I don't like anime, and then it would be this huge, like, it could become a huge thing, like, how could you not like anime? How could you, what is wrong with you? Why are you broken? That kind of thing.
Yeah. And, you're I can I definitely am on board with your point. Just having your opinion, but not getting on your soapbox and announcing it to the world. Yes. Because like, why would you do that if not to incite, dissension and arguments? Like, why would you? Yeah. I mean, you're inviting it. And there are a lot of people who actually do invite that kind of conflict. Yeah. They want that. They want that debate. They want to prove that someone else is wrong because their opinion is, of course, correct. Yes. And that's an argument and engagement I won't take. I had someone ask me once how I didn't fight with people on the internet when they disagreed with me, and I was just like, it's not worth it to me. No. Like, that kind of conflict and inciting anger and frustration has no bearing on the way I want to spend my days. And so I don't engage in it. If you want to tell me I'm wrong, that's cool. Have your opinion. I'm going to have mine, Yeah. And so the funny thing is like that I wasn't always like that. Like, I think that there are a lot of people out there who are younger and want to make sure that they're heard, want to make sure that their voice is heard. So it's just I to each their own, but I will always promote tolerance of other people's interests and likes. Just because I don't like anime, when a whole bunch of people are super excited because a new anime came out on Netflix that I wouldn't know what it was, but they were super excited about it. I was like, cool, glad you're happy. That's awesome. Go have fun. And do you. Because my own personal philosophy has always been enjoy and do what you love to do as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's pretty fair. I have another example, but I'm going to, I've been talking a ton, so I'm going to give you the floor for a little bit, but I have another example to bring into this later. Well, the one of the things that I know it's easy to draw this distinction, but we were talking about how Minneapolis gets so overrun with people during the Super Bowl. What about Atlanta during Dragon Con?
Yeah.
That's like 90 to 100,000 people easy. I went there one year, and like that whole like several blocks, you can't do anything. Like the whole town gets shut down that area, so
Right.
it's very inconvenient for the regular Joes, because I was like, oh, there's all these nerdy kids are coming around. Is the same argument as, oh, there's all these sports ball people here in Minneapolis. I can't get to work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two sides of the same coin, in the same way that Overwatch League is a lot like any other competitive traditional sport. The things that I am seeing since Overwatch League started, the way that people are talking on Twitter and social media, and I've just been silently observing. I don't have a particular team. I bought a London Spitfire thing because I like blue and orange, and I like playing Pharah, so I got that one. But the way that they're talking, the way that, like Jules covers all of these stats and the player trading and all this stuff, I'm like, this is a carbon copy of traditional sports.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a different wrapping. It's just a different situation, same thing. And I get the, I get the, like, okay, where was it? In the, now Cheryl said, I understand that we've been oppressed, bullied, and targeted, etc. But is it really the fault of the fans? Or, it's not. And excuse me. And you have to realize that now we're kind of on equal footing with esports and traditional sports, where we all have our favorite teams, our favorite players. We have all these stats. We have all these things. It's two sides of the same coin. And us as the bullied, oppressed, targeted, nerdy, stereotype people, we can turn that around and just, say, hey, you've got your sports, I've got my sports. I'm glad that your team won the Super Bowl, or I'm sorry they didn't. And then the other person could say, well, I'm sorry that, the Dallas Fuel didn't win that match, or, there's a way that we can just say, hey, calm the heck down and enjoy your sports, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And be appreciative of other people enjoying the other things. Just like you said, enjoy your stuff. If we want to talk about what it is, we'll talk about it, and like, hey, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're happy.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, I don't know how to throw a 3-point in badminton with the fifth down in soccer. And I know how those sports work, by the way. I was just making a generalization. It's like, so they don't understand sports, but they can still be happy for people. Like, sometimes I'll see people talk about baseball or football, and the nerd rage will come out on those people saying, you don't know anything. It's dumb. It's sports. Blah. Just dumb people throwing a ball around and hitting it. And I was like, well, they can make the same about 6 nerdy glasses wearing kids typing on a keyboard and smashing digital characters at each other that don't even exist in the real world. Like, there's an argument for both sides. Like,
right.
Calm the heck down.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
and enjoy, and just appreciate it's the same thing. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people could stand to kind of take a step back and say, hey, Overwatch League, the National Football League, is there a reason why they kind of sound the same?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Is
there a reason why the process for recruitment, the teams, the trading, it's all the same.
Right.
And the sooner people can learn that and realize that, and just kind of like, hey, they're the same, maybe they'll calm the heck down when people talk about sports, the traditional sports.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
we're finally getting to that point where competitive esports, it's very exciting, and I'm seeing the same. It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. It is, and the difficulty, you're getting into a territory where, it for many of us, it goes down to childhood level, where it's a hierarchy of nerds are lesser beings than jocks. And jocks rule the world. And hello, Kitty. And
Spike wanted to say hi. Garrus wanted to say hi.
He did. So that it's just that feeling that we are at odds with each other, and that we are not equals, and that we are the oppressed versus the oppressor. And now, oh gosh, now geeks and nerds rule the world, and everybody wants to enjoy our stuff, and it's an us versus them thing. And it sucks, because I really try to not feel that way about things. It just, because we pick our teams, because we pick our tribes, because we pick our people that we feel comfortable with, it has to become an us versus them in a lot of ways. But when the line is so far away from each other, then it's becoming like, like there's no more respect. And that's where we're missing so much of the whole thing about, for Charles' example, like people are like, oh, blah, all these stupid sports people in the town. And, well, they're having fun as long as they're not causing you problems,
Physical harm.
Yeah, like if you saw what happened in Philadelphia when the Eagles won, and you saw the videos of what people were doing to other people, that's bad. Like you don't want that in your state. That didn't happen in Minneapolis, but who knows? Who knows what would have happened? I mean, the Minnesota Vikings were super, super close to getting to the Super Bowl, and they would have been playing in their hometown for the Super Bowl. I have no idea.
Nuts.
Right. Like, I have no idea what it would have been like, but I would hope that people would not, like, cause physical harm to each other. Fights and throwing things and climbing on light poles enough to pull them down on a crowd, which is what they did in Philadelphia. So there's that part of it, which is the respect part. And that's why I don't go on social media and blast out my opinion, because, my opinion of not liking something is very likely going to hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
Or upset them or make them feel bad. And that's not what I want to do. I don't ever want to make someone feel bad. I don't want them to feel bad about who they like and what they like and who they are,
Yeah. It like we were saying, there's a difference between having an opinion and, preach, like yelling it at people.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, people shouldn't really care whether we like something or not. Like, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I mean, if it does, then just you do you. I mean, there's things that I like and I don't like, and I don't talk about it because there's a reason why people are different, because different is good.
Yeah.
So, and I have friends that there's things that they like that I really don't like or care for, but I'm glad they're happy, and I'm not going to sit there like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Just split all over the place.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
No,
I
nothing
don't,
good can come from it.
No, I don't want to read it. I don't want to see it. Please don't do it, because I don't care if you're mad about this and that. All you're doing is injecting angry energy, bad energy from yourself out to anybody who reads your negative words. And that, ugh.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this a while ago about how, making negative things like this known on social media, it's there. It's worldwide in a second. And it incites, and it's like a snowball. It just like adds to it, and it adds into like this little bit of an echo chamber between people, and it just builds and builds and builds. Whereas if you had a bad day and you don't talk about it, usually you'll forget about it. But if you put it on the internet, you get reminded of it. People are like, oh, you had a horrible day. My day was horrible too. We talked about this like months ago.
Yeah. And
sometimes it's best just to not say it.
Yeah.
The best things to say sometimes is nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So let me introduce another facet to this argument. And just because I think that it's relevant. And it's actually relevant to this whole specific topic of the Super Bowl. Someone who I like and respect, a friend of mine on Facebook, wrote a very poignant post about how they did not choose to support football any longer because they themselves have dealt with the long-term effects of playing football and the injuries that it can cause to their body, in their 40s when they were in high school. And the constant more and more data coming out about the concussions and things like that. They wrote a very educated and a very strongly worded post saying, I understand that a lot of people are interested in the Super Bowl. I myself will no longer be, and this is why. And I think that is okay. That is actually really okay, as long as people approach the I don't like this thing because of this, because of this specific thing, or just coming at it from an educated or thorough researched perspective, a lot of so I've seen this a lot, and I still struggle with this too. Like, is the artist that sins, do you hate the art because you now dislike the artist?
Sometimes.
And so that's a good example for me. I used to love Bill Cosby as a kid. I loved his comedy. I loved I loved his storytelling. He was someone who, he and I have the same birthday. And it was like, I looked up to him. I really appreciated what he did as an artist. And then I learned of what he had done personally. And that completely changed my respect for the art that he had done. And that's a whole, what do you, I guess that's a whole nother topic, but is it really? Because you're like,
well, it's similar. Yeah.
So, you can express the opinion of, I enjoyed what he used to do. I enjoyed, Bill Cosby himself was one of my most favorite
I grew up on that one.
Just incredibly talented storyteller. But yet I can't watch it now because I can't take myself away from the stuff that I know. So, so I just stay, except for talking about it on the podcast here as an example, I'm not going to just make a blanket statement on a social media post or a blog post saying, now I hate the artist and here's why, because basically that's just me splaying my opinion all over the internet. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where I'm going here. It's just like, I have a whole lot more respect for people who can say, I don't like this because of this, instead of just saying, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
Well, yeah. Well, that, and that kind of calls back a little bit to the I don't like anime, and then someone asking why, because
right.
they want to understand why, not just, oh gosh, you're so wrong. You don't really get it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get it. If you saw this or listened to this or read that book or watched this show, you would get it. It's kind of, I don't watch Family Guy anymore. I don't like Seth MacFarlane. On personal reasons, and some of the stuff that gets on Family Guy, it just irks me, and it's just, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Now I watched the Orville because I've watched some of the Orville. I haven't caught up because, like, his love of Star Trek and wanting to create like an honest, like, funny parody, but that's still kind of smart about it. That kind of overturns it because there's a lot more hands in that pot, a lot more people behind it. But with Family Guy, I'm done. Like, I can't stand it anymore. And so if somebody asks me, yeah, we'll talk about it. But I don't go blasting from the rooftops that, I hate Family Guy. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But just like, it's something I don't like. But if you do, you do you. Yeah.
And so I guess I guess we both agree on this. And I'm betting there's a lot of people that do, but I'm betting there's people that don't. That we kind of agree that social media is a much better place when you are excited about the things that you enjoy, and you defer from blasting what you hate.
Yes, you get what you give.
Yeah,
I think with and if you give out positivity, you get positivity back, with some exceptions, and then negative output equals negative input.
Yeah. I am of the mindset where I do not understand people who use the internet, social media platforms to vent. I just,
that's their outlet. It's not the best way to do it,
but it bugs me so much.
Yeah. Hey, Jules, let people enjoy their things. Let them enjoy it.
Does that apply? Like, with that, should I just let them enjoy things when they're making me? No, it doesn't. In the rule of Jules and Marconin, it doesn't, because it causes me frustration and annoyance and sometimes really like angry thoughts about that person. So I think it causes me harm.
Well, do you have to read it?
True, I don't have to read it. So I could mute it.
Yeah.
Which I do a lot of times.
One or two too many retweets of stuff that I don't really care for, and you're muted. I'm just like, you're still my friend, but I'm not going to let that affect my opinion of you, and I'd rather not see all that stuff. So I just mute people.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like,
there's a lot of people who are muted that don't know they're muted. I just have to say that too. But
I can't believe you've muted me.
I know. Marconin, so tired of all your mounts, damn it.
3 in one day?
What?
I'm done. Done.
For the record, I have not muted Marconin.
Yay.
Yay!
Let the record show.
Let the record show that Jules has not muted her co-host.
Excelsior.
So
yeah, it's just like when it comes to the whole esports versus regular sports thing, just take a step back. It's all the same.
Yes.
One's on a grassy field or fake grass in Minneapolis. The other one is on a server in LA. Same thing. They're both competitive battlefields. Enjoy it if you do.
Did I lose you? Shoot, I think I lost Marconin again. That's 2 weeks in a row we've lost him on Skype. That sucks. So we'll just wrap that little part up to say sometimes you just, sometimes you just don't like things. And sometimes it's okay. I mean, most of the time it's okay to not like things. So go ahead. Don't like it. It's cool. I'm cool with that. Did we get you back? You're back. Yep. It's cool. Don't like things if you don't like things. But enjoy, like, I will give the audience a challenge at the moment. I will give you a challenge, and I will say the thing that you feel really annoyed about that people like, the thing that you really, just kind of irks the heck out of you, like, wow, why do they like this thing? Make at least one, like, clear reason why you don't like it. And it's not just because it's dumb or you don't understand it. Come up with a specific reason why you do not feel that this is something you enjoy, because it could literally be that you don't understand it.
Yeah.
That you have a lack of knowledge about it, that you haven't dug in a little bit deeper. You may find that you're surprised. You may see something you didn't see before.
Yeah. And maybe, just maybe, one day, Jules might like anime.
I don't know, man. What broke me was Speed Racer in the 80s. And it was just like, it was shrill, and it didn't have any, like, because it was overdubbed. It was, the Japanese animation overdubbed with English speaking speakers. The voices didn't match the mouth movements, and that bugged me. And I think that's what really bugs me the most about anime, is that feeling that they don't match up because it's co-opting. So that's why I will say on my front why I don't like anime. Because I can't get past the desync of the words and the overdub. So
that's fair. That's a fair critique.
Yeah. It has always bothered me. I always felt like, basically I called it the blinky mouth people when I was a kid, because it looked like their mouths were just blinking.
Oh yeah.
on Speed Racer. So that's why I was like, oh no, this is not for me. Not for me. But I will say that anybody, and I know there are bazillion people that love anime. Like, go do you. Like, have fun. Enjoy it. That's awesome that you love it. So, yeah. Draven asks, do you like the old Godzilla movies? No. Hell no. No. It's just not my thing. I think that kind of wraps it up, unless you have anything further. I kind of like kept the conversation going when your Skype dropped.
Yeah. Oh no, that's I think we pretty much covered everything I want to say about it. Just
Okay.
you do you boo boo, but don't diss people for doing what they do. You know, if they're enjoying it, they're loving it, they're not actively pushing it on you. I mean, you can always mute them, but if not, you know, be happy that they're happy, just as they should be happy that you're happy.
Right.
We're all different for a reason.
Right.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy that. Enjoy the fact that we have variety and different perspectives and can learn things from each other sometimes. So
'tis the spice of life.
'Tis. And we are always open to your feedback, so please do send it if you wish. You can send us a message through email. questions@torrenthinktank.com is our email address, or you can send us a message through Twitter or Facebook. Twitter is @torrenthinktank and facebook.com/torrenthinktank. That is the places where you can reach us. And also Discord, of course. tinyurl.com/tttchat2 is the quick link to get to Discord. And you can send us a message in our discussion topic channel, which is awesome. Works out really well. Speaking of discussion type topics, we're going to do some Tell Us One Thing, which is our little fun way of learning more about each other and you. So let's do that right now.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Mark Honan had the ball this week, and he had 2 questions that he wrote, starting with question 1.
Yes. You know, they announced the Battle for Azeroth pre-order, and you can, of course, pre-order and get instant access to those 4 allied races, which they didn't have. One of my favorites, Andalari Trolls. I want to play one of those, so I haven't done it. But I was going to ask people, which allied race are you playing first in WoW, and why? So if you're not playing one yet, what are you going to play when you do? So, Jules, what do you think?
So I haven't pre-ordered because I stopped playing the game around 6 months ago. I still have my account, but I don't play. So I haven't unlocked anything, so I wasn't like about to go buy it and, you know, anyway. But for the Alliance side, I definitely think the Void Elves would be, you know, I mean, I know people give them a lot of crap, but I love Blood Elves. I think they're awesome. I would play a Blood Elf in the Alliance like for a second. So that's pretty much a Blood Elf for the Alliance. So that would make me happy.
Yeah. I really love the idea of the Void Elves, and I'm glad that we got them on the Alliance side.
I know, and they have like glowy hair, and that's like the super. So I don't even know this. I should know this, and I am so dumb because I don't. But if you don't unlock them right now for reputation, and you buy Battle for Azeroth, will you get them when the expansion goes live?
No, you still have to unlock them.
You still do?
Yep. You can race change to them, I believe. But you don't get the heritage armor if you level it up to 110, which is a special cosmetic armor that only those classes have.
Okay.
But most of it's a rep grind. It's getting easier to do the rep, and it'll be even easier in Battle for Azeroth. Once you're 120, you can steamroll everything on Argus.
Yeah.
On most of those for the Void Elves is Argus. It's just going through the storyline. That's probably the easiest one than just rep grinding by doing those world quests. So it's not. I checked the prerequisites. Since I grind and look for mounts and stuff, I already have all the prerequisites for all 4 of them. Yeah. So I'm good to go, but that's just because I still play a whole bunch, so it just happens. Because they put mounts behind rep rewards, of course I'm gonna do them.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. Yeah,
because I was actually unsure if you know, for people who left Legion and decided to come back, like how could they how could they get those expanded races, but I guess that they'd have to play Legion in order to do it.
Yeah, and they'd have to what is it? You could race change if you wanted to, I believe.
Okay.
Because one of the priests in my raid, she was a night elf priest. Now she's a void elf priest, but I think she already had the prerequisites. But
Okay.
I don't know if you need them or not. But
Good to know.
they do look the coolest. Yeah, I'm toying. For about 2 seconds, I was considering changing Marconin to a void elf mage, but then I thought everyone would yell at me, and I was like, no, I need to stay strong. Stay strong for Nomergon.
Stay strong. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to stay Nomergon. I can't do it.
No, it makes sense. I don't honestly. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do because, the game has just. I've lost the will to want to grind things in WoW, and so, when the expansion comes out, I don't even know what I'm gonna do because it's just this strange. I'm in this strange place where. I used to raid. That's all I used to do. And so when I raided, it was just, I bought an expansion so I could level it up to get to the next raid and be ready to raid. So if I'm not raiding, what is it? What's the end goal? What's the point? So it's hard. It's like I'm at that point where it's just I'm really unsure if I will be continuing, if I will even buy Battle for Azeroth at this point. So... which is really hard to say, but so it's just, my interests have changed, and I still manage the guild and manage everything around it, and that's fine. It's still, I could still do that even if I'm not playing,
Well, yeah.
So it's just kind of interesting. So anyway, so you want to go Dark Iron Dwarf?
I would like to, but the first one I'm going to do, and I finally I was thinking about it, and like, I don't have a warrior on Airy Peak yet. My warrior is back on my old server Draka. I'm going to do a Lightforged Draenei warrior.
Ooh.
And I'm already thinking of his backstory where he was, a stalwart, he was angry with the world and full of rage and just wanted to destroy the Legion at all costs. But then he found peace with the army of the light, and then that's when he decided to be infused with the essence of the light itself. But he still has that twinge of the rage underneath, but he does it for nobler causes and stuff. So nice. I have yet to find a name, but as soon as I do, I may go ahead and pre-order the standard edition so I can do the allied races, and then late summer when it comes out, buy the physical collectors. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with a Void Elf. I was thinking about changing my Troll Marconin on Earthen Ring and AIE to a Zandalari Troll because they look so cool. Definitely. They have the voodoo.
They do have
so yeah, that's the one for me. Yeah.
In the alpha, when you play a Horde character, you're like right in the whole like troll area. Like that's where at least that's what they're doing in the alpha. Like you start there. So which is kind of wild, and it's all trolly and neat, and it's like, wow, this is cool. So, yeah.
I can't wait to play it. Oh.
Super cool. So we asked you guys what you thought, which allied race you'd be playing in first in WoW and why. Excuse me. Crushinator said, I'm most excited to play Dark Iron Dwarf. But until then, I'll probably try out a Nightborn to get ready for Horde side leveling.
Mm-hmm. Perfect Nomad said, do what?
I got hiccups, sorry.
Perfect Nomad said, probably Nightborn, seeing as it's the only allied race I'll be exalted with.
That's awesome. Darthus said Zandalari Trolls because I like the idea of a powerful voodoo warlock.
Oh, yeah, man. And is it Padraic? Yeah. They say Void Elf. There have been many Alliance fans waiting for a playable High Elves, and this may be the closest thing we can get.
Mm-hmm. Kaifin said, Iron Dwarf. I love the dwarves. Closest thing to a gnome my pally will be able to get to. Plus, being of Celtic descent, the voices speak to my heart. I'll race change my pally after I level a Dark Iron Dwarf so she can have the transmog too.
Very cool. Very cool. Torek says Zendalari because upright trolls look awesome. I'm looking forward to upright orcs even more. Azeroth chiropractors have been busy.
Kalani says, we are High Mountain.
Good call. Good call. Wolf Tracker agrees. They say he says High Mountain Tauren. I'm role playing as the adult adopted daughter of my partners and my character start that over. I'm role playing as the adult adopted daughter of my partners and my characters in our former All Tauren guild on our old server. She was blood totem by but her family refused the fell and were killed. She had no family clan left, so we adopted her. She's off to see Thunder Bluff and the rest of the world. That's very cool.
That is very cool. That is very cool. So enjoy your new allied races, whatever you have chosen to play, and enjoy the new stuff that's coming out. You know, they're starting to show off the dwarves and the Zandalari trolls models, so people are starting to get super excited about that. If you're interested in the spoilers, and then we go to question 2, which is the return of Tauren DJ Tank.
2 Tauren tables and a microphone.
2 turntables and a microphone. Marconen's question: what's a song that cheers you up or puts you in a good mood? So I've got yours queued up.
Yes. You want me to talk about it first?
Yeah, go ahead and intro it. Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite, this is the one that inspired the question, and one of my favorite bands is the Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra, and they've been around for a couple of decades, and of course, it's Japanese, so you probably can't understand what they're saying, but the song in question, it's them featuring Mongol 900 is another band because they always play with other bands, and the translated title of this song is "In the Midst of Peace," and it's a nice happy song about being in love. I recently just translated it like about an hour and a half ago, and I'm glad that I was vindicated. It does sound happy and fun and joyous, and it really is. So go ahead and take it away, Jules.
Here's a little snippet of it. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to sit still listening to that, and it's so good. I'll tweet out the link to it after the show.
Yeah.
Just on my Twitter too, because it's so cool. I like it. What was yours, Jules?
How about I just cue it up?
Yeah.
How about a little September by Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Love it.
Now, you know, this song is where I play this song right before I'm about to work out. We gotta get to the beat drop. There you go.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yes, that is my all-time favorite song for cheering me up, putting me in a good mood, getting me moving. It never fails. I could listen to it 100 times in a day and it would, still not get old because there's just so much energy behind that song. So.
Oh yeah. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that's one of my favorites too. Yeah. I love it.
So one of the things that my nutrition coaching has told me, and over the last 6 months, is that you should always have kind of a motivation song. You should always have something that gets you going, snaps you out of a funk, and so that has been the thing that if I just needed to get shoved over the edge to go do the workout, go turn that on and then go. And, and it changes it, it's a great thing. It changes everything. So.
Oh yeah, that's really good advice. I may have to start doing that myself.
Do it. Like if you have, have a couple of those Japanese ska tunes in your back pocket if you need it, and just say, and you're like, I don't want to. All right, if you still don't want to after listening to that song, then you don't have to.
Yeah, those things are too motivating. Like I probably will.
Yeah,
probably will do the thing.
Exactly. So we asked you guys what your motivation songs were, and I will pull up a couple of these and we will do them. Let's see. So Zafira said "Attention" by Charlie Puth. I don't know who this is, but let's pull this up here. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you. You been running around, throwing that dirt all on my name. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's got some.
It's got a good beat.
Yeah. All
right.
All right. What's the next one?
Crushinator says Animal Bar by the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Far Away by Wolf Mother. Andrew Stockdale's vocals on that Wolf Mother track are just so blissful and free.
I don't know if I know Animal Bar. Let's see. I don't know if I know this one. I don't know that one.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either.
What was the other one? Far Away?
Far Away by Wolf Mother.
Let's see. There it is. I might have heard this one before. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the next one.
Yeah.
Did you hear the choir version of the Africa Toto one that I linked a couple weeks ago?
I don't think I saw it. I may have to go back and listen to it.
All right, I'm gonna pull that one up instead.
Okay.
And I'm gonna play a bit of this. So this one is from Perfect Nomad. He says, to the surprise of no one, if you know Perfect Nomad, he loves Toto, Africa, and this is awesome. I'm gonna pull this up here. Come on, you. Don't lag. Oh, it's lagging. Here we go. Don't lag. Oh, it's totally lagging. Thanks, YouTube. You suck. Hold on. There.
I hear the drums echoing tonight. She hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars.
I'm gonna skip it ahead for a second. There we go. Oh, I miss choir singing so much.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it just gives me chills. So Darthus says anything by Nat King Cole. That voice always puts a smile on my face. That's a good one.
Yeah, I agree. That's I love Nat King Cole's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, Bittersweet by Panic at the Disco. What's that one?
That one's by Padriak.
Yeah.
I like
What
Panic
are
at the
these songs
Disco.
I don't know?
I had that CD. I had their like big CD that came out. I had that on full rotation for like a year.
Oh, cool. Okay. Panic at the Disco is
Yeah.
good. I like them.
Yeah. Kaifin speaks my jam. Long Train Running by the Doobie Brothers. They say the tempo, the beat, and the line, without love, where would you be now? That really is a good song to do the dishes to. Makes it go really fast.
Yeah, I gotta put that on my playlist because that one just gets you grooving.
Oh, it does.
That one
Oh.
just gets you grooving. Good call. Good call. Let's see. Torek says, lately it's been a song called The Good of the One by Melody Sheep. It's a mix of Spock quotes that plays out his discovery of his humanity, but the keyboard synth in the song just takes me back to playing games on the Sega Genesis as a kid. It feels like home and immediately cheers me up. I have no idea what this is. So
Me either. I might want to listen to that one.
The Good of the One. YouTube, man. It's a Spock tribute.
Spock, does the good of the many outweigh the good of the one?
I would accept that as an axiom. I have a human half, you see, as well as an alien half, submerged, constantly at war with each other. I survive it because my intelligence wins out over both, makes them live together. I am a Vulcan, bred to peace. I speak from pure logic. Human.
That's wild.
Yeah.
This is like a Marconi and
listen.
Alley song. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to that one all the way through.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then, let's see, Kalani says, I'm going to have to go with either Eva Cassidy's rendition of Cheek to Cheek that she did live at the Blues Alley, or a little bit of Yoko Kanno's Odd Ones from Cowboy Bebop. Both have awesome piano solos, naturally, because he is an awesome piano player.
Yeah. I don't know if this is... Wow, that's cool.
I'm digging it.
That's totally cool. I love when we do these questions because it exposes us to new music, stuff
Oh,
that we
yeah.
hadn't heard before. You want me to get the other one too?
Yeah, we play a little bit of that one. Cowboy Bebop, like we were talking about earlier, it's an anime, but it has fantastic music. It's one of the big keys of the show is its music.
It says Yoko Kanno, Cowboy Bebop. I don't know if this is right.
He's got a link to one of them in the show notes.
Oh, hang on. I gotta switch to the show notes then. Hold on. I'm on a different computer, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Pay no attention to the man behind the corner, folks.
Nope. We're doing it live, so we'll just get it. There we go. Come on. There it is. Kalani going for the jazz. Very cool.
Very, very cool.
All right, we got another one here from Wolf Tracker. I'm gonna click the link because I can click the link.
Well,
That's cool.
oh yeah,
That's
right
super
up my
cool.
alley. That is cool.
I'm gonna pick one of Broken Bones here, which is probably one of my favorites too. And that is Come On Eileen.
Dixie's Midnight Runners.
Yeah, we all know that one.
Hmm. There's a really good ska cover of "Come On Eileen" by Save Ferris as well.
Is there?
Really cool, and really, it's even faster than that one. It's really cool.
And we close it out with one by Razor 70, Men Without Hats, The Safety Dance.
I love this song.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't dance.
This is a weird video.
No friends of mine. Say, we
Like running through a field, and
Yeah.
there's a guy with a little person with him. It's just weird. I like DJ Think Tank. That's fun.
Oh yeah,
That's fun. Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for sending in your suggestions and your fun songs. Couldn't use them all, but we tried to use as many as we could. So, yeah, so that's Tell Us One Thing. We do a new question set every week that we're doing a show most of the time, so you can go out there and check them out. You can find them on Discord. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter is at Tauren Think Tank. Facebook is facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. Discord is tinyurl.com/TTT chat too. Okay, so I need to go get my soundboard again because my soundboard's hiding. And it is the time that we call the slash move. Start us off, sir.
from Shorel /Moo to Sheriana and the rest of the folks running the GGWNA fun runs. The Girls Gone Wow.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, Girls Gone Wow NA fun runs. You guys make my Wednesdays awesome.
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 And Mammoth says slash move for the cop in the future that catches up to Elon Musk's car, currently going just a bit under 75 kilometers per hour. Serious grats to SpaceX for their launch this week.
Yeah, that was so cool to see that.
I
See the
know.
car and like the whole Earth behind it. It's just,
That's
it's
just
beautiful.
It's surreal. It's just totally surreal. It's awesome.
It really is. Well, and they said that it's like they were a little overzealous with the rocket, and now it's going to go like past Mars and out towards the asteroid belt before it starts to come back around. And NASA's like, "Hey, can we get your telemetry data? We want to run it through our models and make sure that you're not going to run into Mars. And if you do, when and where?" It's so funny.
Please,
Oh.
can we see your data?
Yeah,
Can that
yeah,
be okay?
Hey, can we share notes on this one? I want to see where it's going to go,
Can
please.
you share your notes from that class? Okay.
First car on Mars.
That's crazy. It's so insane. And that, Mark Honan, is a show.
I do believe you're right. First one in February.
I do declare we have made a show in February.
Woo-wee.
What's coming up for you in the next 7 days or so?
Tons of mount runs.
Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
If I stream it, I'll tweet it out.
Okay.
You can join in the misery and hopefully elation of me getting a big love rocket to my collection.
Yes.
So that's the biggest thing. A lot of work, but I say I'm gonna love my job. So much fun. I love it. So it's really cool that I get to do what I do and enjoy it like I do. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Just another week in the life, but hopefully some mount runs, and hopefully I can get this rocket so I can stop doing these mount runs.
I know. You're just like, I'm done.
And maybe getting the Battle for Azeroth pre-order. Maybe. But that's about it that I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you?
Well, you'll see me. You can listen to the latest episodes of the BattleNet News and BattleNet Sports. So Convert to Raids, 2 podcasts. I am on both of them this week. Next week, I will most likely be doing another BattleNet Sports segment because we're getting much closer to the Western Clash for HGC. So there's lots to report there. And I will try my best to do a stream this weekend on Sunday, probably Sunday afternoon. I try to. The hardest part for me with streaming is making sure that I am planned ahead with whatever I'm working on so that I have something to do while I'm on the stream. Because what typically happens is like, oh, I'm going to start a new project, which means I have to open rings for like an hour, and that's not very fun. So it's just not very enjoyable to see me sit there and open rings for an hour. But people in the chat were like, well, maybe it is. It's okay.
Yeah.
So there's that. Just normal. Should be a normal week going on. Next week is Valentine's Day. So yeah. If you're with somebody and they like Valentine's Day, make sure you don't forget that it's next week.
Yeah, I have the things that I've gotten for the missus. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like I got the whole it's a spin on the traditional gift. I'll say that.
I gotcha.
So it should be pretty fun.
Should
pretty
be
cool.
Acceptable.
Yes. And I told her like we can go eat anywhere in the city that you want. Any fancy pants restaurant, wherever you want to go, we got it. So we'll be working that out.
Got you. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week. All things hopeful, normal as normal can be. So with that, we will bring the show to a close like we always do, just like this. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incomputech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us. You know you want some sweet Triple T loot for your Valentine. Yes, you do. Well, it's probably too late because you should have ordered it a couple of weeks ago. But if you still want to do a belated gift, you can go to taurenThinkTank.com/store and get a nice t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a mug, or a phone case, amongst other merchandise.
Bye today. I'm
Bye
really
now.
I'm bad at that voice. Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you would like to support the show, support Mark Conan and I and the efforts that we do to create this podcast, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. And if you want to meet other members of the Triple T community, share cute cat photos, craft photos, discussion topic ideas, or just need some support, join our Discord server. There's lots of people in there and they love to talk. And it is a quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
Should you want to decide to find us on social media, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can also find Jules at Jules RPG and Mark Conan At Mark Onan, wow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight, teleporting from the 1950s to the 2018 time zone to be with us and hang out. We're here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central, and you can find us on twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. We love seeing you with us, however you listen to the show in your world. Marconin,
Jules.
have a fabulous, fabulous weekend.
Enjoy your fabulous February, Jules.
Fabulous February indeed. And I will say good night from myself, from Mark Conan, for the entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Really? I had one of those moments when we were listening to those outros, the two bumpers. The whole "we make your problems less bad" thing. Like, it took me back to, like, the beginning. And it's like, wow, we've been doing this for 6 years. This show has been almost 6 years has been functioning.
That's nuts. Oh, goodness.
And I was like, my gosh, like, you know, yes, we're kind of like tongue in cheek and stuff like that, but our bumpers are really funny sometimes. Like, I had a moment. I had a moment where I was just like, oh my God, in May it's going to be 6 years.
I know. Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Our show would be in first. Our show is a kindergartner.
I know. Thanks, Winchester. Thanks, Natani.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys for being with us while we record. It's a tie, Dad. I think that's the show title is. It's a tie, Dad.
It's a tie. Yeah.
Let
let music be your happy place. Thanks,
Yeah.
YouTube. You suck.
Don't pause on me.
No.
I'm not even gonna cut the part where you went out because I literally just picked up the ball and went with it. So like, I'm not cutting
no
this.
problem.
I'm not
I don't know what happened with it. It just kind of was like, oh, it's resyncing, and we're back.
Yeah, your freeze frame was this.
Ah, jeez. It's always the worst faces.
It is every single time. It just, catches I'm surprised nobody clipped that because I was just like, nobody saw it.
Don't give them ideas.
Well, they can't now. It's unless they go back and go back to the VOD.
Ideas, not gnomes.
Ideas, not gnomes. Oh. I know. It's been a long week.
Ugh.
Woo! I just hit the... Sorry. I hit the wrong keyboard.
I am going to have to get back out into the world again because tomorrow they're releasing the rest of the third generation of Pokemon into Pokemon Go, along with a brand new raid boss.
What?
Yeah, another. They've been doing one about a month apart. They did Groudon for a month, and then they did Kyogre for a month, and now they're doing Rayquaza starting tomorrow for a month. And so now I'm like, well, now you got to get it back out and do some more raiding.
Yep.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
People in Minnesota are like, screw you and your seasonal bosses. We're not going outside.
Nope.
It's too cold.
Yes.
It's too cold. What is it right now? It's 10 degrees right now. It's just like... And that actually feels warmer. Like when you go outside, you're like, oh, it's 10. That's actually kind of warmer. That's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks ago, there was like a 35, 40 degree day. And I was just like, do I not even need my coat?
Ugh. Yeah, it dipped down below freezing last night. We had some rain, so there was some black ice this morning.
Yeah.
But like it's 41 outside right now, so it's not bad. We're gonna get up into the 60s mid next week, but like on the like the barely into the 60s.
It's barely into the 60s. Wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah. Yeah. You get lost the will to grind and WoW. Yeah, you're Kappa.
Yeah.
Kappa. I have to go and see a tax professional tomorrow. Yeah. I did my taxes and well, I tried to do my taxes the other day. And
Oh yeah.
and I it came back and it said that I owed like $3,000 to the government. And I was like,
Ooh,
what?
no
This
thanks.
cannot be right. This cannot be right. But I think I'm hopeful that it's not right. But what happened is I had been given this money for the divorce settlement, but it was given to me as retirement fund money. And I used that money because it was for the house, like my portion of the house. And so I took money out. I closed out that account and I paid taxes on, I had them withhold the taxes for that. Like we said, all right, I know I'm going to pay taxes on this, so withhold the taxes. And so I did that. And then it's now saying that it's income that I have. Like it was saying, this is what your income is plus this amount of money that you took out to buy the house. It's ridiculous. And so now it's saying like I owe like $3,000 in taxes. And I'm like, no, this cannot be right. So TurboTax can go screw itself. And I'm going to have to go pay somebody to actually look at this and, say for realsies, do I actually owe this money? Because I already paid it.
Like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
So that's what I'm praying is that they're going to say, oh, no, you don't have to pay this. You already paid it. Stupid taxes.
Don't double tax me.
Right? So, yep. So I'm going to go talk to a local professional tomorrow and hopefully it's good. So, great show. Off to Critical Role. Enjoy yourself. And you guys have a great night. And, we're going to get out of here and go relax and chill out. And I wonder, is Overwatch League done yet?
I'm not sure.
You can still deduct all the expenses See, and that's the thing, Solomio. There was just like, I'm like, why would I owe this much money? I don't understand why I would owe this much money. This is ridiculous. So yeah. It makes no sense. I mean, the money that I had, I knew there was a high tax amount on it because it was a retirement fund that was being withdrawn early, but it was granted to me from my ex-husband's retirement fund, so that's how I got it. So I couldn't avoid it. It was money to buy the house. So, and I said, here, when you withdraw this, there's an option that they can take the taxes out beforehand so you don't have to deal with it later. Ugh, I hate taxes. So, yeah. So I'm hoping that this pro is going to be like, oh, and you work from home and you bought a new computer last year, which means you can deduct that too. And so,
yes,
I mean, yeah, all that stuff. I don't have to deal with it. So it's stupid. So anyway, I'm hoping for really good news. So send vibes out to the universe that tells them that I don't owe money to the IRS and that they're going to give me a big fat refund instead because I could really use that. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I still got to do mine sometime soon. I think we finally got all of our stuff in for it, so
yeah,
gonna be doing that real soon.
Cool. All right, loves, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. /Boo, everybody.
/Boo, guys, have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.